took my oldest kid, over to Full Sail University at one point. And I saw the tagline for Full Sail, and it said real world education. I thought, wow, that's a cool tagline for education, because my frustration at that point was sort of with my kids' school, private school, paying good money, and they weren't getting enough real world education. So there was this frustration sort of building in me. It's every parent's nightmare, dealing with kids. I need this, I need that. And the first thing I think a parent deals with is wants and needs, and trying to teach your kids about wants and needs. And then everything hit the fan in this country. It became abundantly clear that on Main Street, Wall Street, and K Street, we were all financially incompetent. So I figured, well, the key then would be teach people about money. And I thought, gee, my 21-year-old, he's sort of too far gone. He's fully baked. You know, it's hard to teach 21-year-olds anything. So the more I thought about it, I thought, gee, we got to get at kids. We got to teach kids about this stuff. And the more we sort of noodled around, having made a commitment to do something about this, the more we noodled around about it, the more we realized financial literacy is vitally important. But there are a lot of people who have been trying to teach financial literacy for years. That's not the real problem. And if you're going to get at a problem, make sure you're getting at the real problem, and then make sure you're giving the right solution to the real problem. And the real problem became clear to us that it's a layer below financial literacy. I mean, Bernie Madoff knows all about money, and he's got a lot of time on his hands. He could teach us all about money. He's got nothing better to do. But it's not about money. It's about that layer below money, and it's apolitical. It's about certain core values and concepts. So we got to teach kids, before we get to money, as important as that is, we'll get to money, but before we do that, we got to teach them about risk and reward, success and failure, choice. And you can spend hours drilling down on choice. Do we have a choice in life? Are we victims, or do we have a choice? Don't we always have a choice? We can always choose what our attitude's going to be. Attitude, that's another important core value and concept. So we think what's critically important is to teach kids these core values and concepts as a precursor. It's kind of like when Vince Lombardi took over the Packers. He held his first team meeting. They hadn't won a game in a long time. He had his first team meeting, gathered everybody together. He said, gentlemen, we're getting back to basics. This is a football. It's kind of like, that's what we got to do with our kids. Get back to basics. Get back to the blocking and tackling of not only finance, but life. And the stuff we're talking about, it's not just pertains to money, it pertains to any course a kid's going to take, it pertains to life. So if we want to get at kids, how are we going to get to kids? Schools. We set up a foundation along with our for-profit. Our for-profit creates content, and our foundation enables us to give product to schools. We do things through our foundation. We get sponsors for the foundation. The foundation gives it to the school. This curriculum was developed in concert with and for Hillsborough County. It's titled True Wealth for Kids. True wealth is what it's all about, for you, for me, for everybody. And we introduce the concept of money. This is about 80% core values and concepts, and then we go about 20% into the introduction of money, which we do under our acronym KIDS, K-I-D-S. Here's the magazine, and we're told by a lot of people in the school that it's got terrific wow factor, and interestingly enough, it's not online, it's old school. It's kind of along the lines of this famous researcher who's getting a lot of play lately, Daniel Pink, who's reiterating that as important as e-learning and online stuff is, there's an awful lot of benefit from handling things. So we've got a magazine here, magazine format that every kid gets distributed in class. And here we have the teacher's guide, which walks teachers through every day. This is about 10 hours of curriculum. It's complemented by a classroom poster that depicts our True Wealth tree. And the tree is the true wealth, and it's the 4 branches of keep, invest, donate, spend, off of which are all the sub-subjects you would get for each of those that will follow this. And we've got a DVD that we put together because I think it's important to tell kids stories about people who have achieved success.
We are here today to talk about money, what it is, and why it is important.
And to talk about kids. Keeping it, investing it, donating it, and spending it. Basically everything there is about money and wealth.
But first, let's focus on that last word, wealth. Most of us tend to think of wealth as how much money we have.
And yet money isn't everything. So let's talk about true wealth. This is what it's all about.
True wealth isn't about money. There's a lot of people out there with lots of money that still haven't found true wealth. True wealth is a delicate balance between a lot of integral parts in your life, and money may just be one of those parts.
I think having options gives me a sense of wealth, and just having relationships strong relationships with other people makes me feel wealthy, not in the sense of, you know, got a rich uncle or anything, but just knowing that I have people there for me.
Be realistic and be fair with yourself and find out what it is that gives you true peace. Because if you can define that, you have found true wealth.
This is very unique. There's nobody that's introducing and trying to inculcate principles of finance by first beginning with these core values and concepts. So that's really the educational component. We've got, this is the first level, we've got a second level and a third level to follow up for subsequent grades. This is going into every fourth grade classroom in Hillsborough County as a post-FCAT initiative. Polk County's taking it. There are a number of other counties signing on. This week we had a couple other counties express interest and are probably going to be committing to it. Our ultimate goal is to have an effect, and the only hope, it's about the kids. We got to teach kids how the world works and offer them a ray of sunshine.